Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is episode one of the Maxed Out podcast. I am Chad Shorey. I have been wanting to kick this off now for at least the last 2 years. Here I am tonight, almost the end of June, and finally at 9:45 p.m. here, I am making it happen. About 2 months ago, I gave myself a 2 month window. My 45th birthday is July 2nd, coming right up. And I knew that I wanted to get the first episode off the ground. I'm not looking to get rich by this, by any means. I just like to talk. I feel like I've got a voice. There's plenty of things that I enjoy talking about. I'm self-employed, have my own general contracting business. We basically do snow plowing, lawn care, stuff of that nature, but now getting into home builds and remodels and stuff of that nature. So kind of all over the place. I like to say that I am a person that doesn't like to say no. I'll figure it out. I'll find a way. It will make the job happen. So I love talking business. I love talking fitness. I love talking life advice, motivational speeches, stuff of that nature. I'm a big fan of Andy Frisella and Sean Whalen. They're two of my favorite podcasters and entrepreneurs. I aspire to be them. Uh, Not necessarily consider myself a failure if I don't get to that point. Those boys are very, very driven. I love a lot of their message. I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but they inspire me a lot with the advice that they give, because clearly you don't just get where they are overnight. So my goal is to, hopefully have some good conversations with people from time to time. Looking at having collaborations. Obviously, want to make this podcast look and feel better. This is already my second take on this, just because I'm, learning all the nuances about it. I always like to feel like I'm tech savvy, and then next thing you know, not so much. So I'm hoping that we can, jazz this up a little, give it the intro music and all the things that the big names have. That's my goal. Um, but honestly, I look forward to learning. I'm never going to be the smartest person in the room, unless that room is scary, right? So I love being around smart people, whether it's from a business sense, whether it's from a fitness sense, relationship sense. You can go on and on. It's wonderful to be around motivated people, successful people. I feel like it permeates off them, and you aspire to get at a certain level. Depending on the type of person they are too. If they're an asshole, it's kind of a turnoff, right? But if someone quote unquote is better than you in certain aspects and willing to teach, I feel like I'm the type of person that I'm a sponge. I love listening to it. I will soak that up all day long. I also enjoy sports. NBA is my big thing. That's the only sport that I've really hung on to. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s. I graduated high school in 2000. The great chunk of that time was the steroid era, and that was some of the best sports ever. I don't care what anyone says; it was fun. Everyone was hitting home runs. It seemed, and it was just wonderful. All the guys were jacked up and juiced, and sports was fun. Also, grew up in the 80s, where every action figure was this pumped up dude. So I'm a big He-Man fan. I've got a massive collection of that, so I can totally nerd out with anyone when it comes to that. Also a gamer. I'm excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out. That's going to be freaking amazing. I plan on, maybe taking some time off during the launch of that, because that's just going to be a great time. I don't necessarily care to make this podcast political. I tend to vote conservatively. I love having good talks with people that are open-minded one way or the other. Yes, I have voted for Donald Trump 3 times. Loved him in his first term. Absolutely loved him. Wasn't necessarily a fan of Biden, but I'm also not necessarily a fan of Trump this go around, So take of it what you will. It's okay to be judged, I'm not necessarily enjoying things. We live in Lincoln, Maine, And, if anyone has seen the news, especially at a local level, I'm not, depending on how far this reaches, our town's total chaos right now. We've had 4 town managers in like a 7-month span, something crazy like that. We're looking at some crazy times here. So I am co-president of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm not really going to bring that into this because this is me. I don't want to hold my team accountable or be detrimental to them for the things that I say. But I am co-president of the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. My team is awesome. And our goal and mission is essentially to build up the chamber with small businesses locally, and we're expanding a little bit to different areas that we don't quite have those services here in this town, and we maybe have people going to their towns to use their services, or they're coming here. So it's building that relationship and essentially sharing the wealth. If you've got a business or service, I use you, you use me, and our money just circulates, right? It makes it nice. So that's our goal right now, and that's really enjoyable. So that's where I'm putting a lot of my focus aside from my business. Also very involved with fitness. My girlfriend Kimberly owns the gym here in town called Freedom Fitness. Been going there for quite a while, and she's a personal trainer and does real estate as well. So we're both entrepreneurs, both trying to find our way in 2026, if you will, and to aspire to become something, right? So I love good discussion. I'm hoping to have some good talks off this. I'm gonna check it periodically. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm gonna have, a new episode out every day, every week. I don't know what's gonna come of this. I'm not expecting to even get any followers. So if anyone actually clicks on it and follows, I'm like elated, right? I look at it as one of those that I can maybe be a filler for you during the course of the day. And maybe we agree on something, maybe we don't, and it brings up discussion. Maybe you're driving somewhere and you decide to click on here, and it just gives you something to listen to. So that's kind of the goal, the intention. Hope that I can give advice, but also maybe some people that have some really great ideas can help impact my life as well. And we kind of share the wealth in that sense with some knowledge. I'm great at relationship advice. I'm not that great at it myself, Same thing with financial advice. I like shiny things. I'm like a squirrel when it comes to stuff. So there's that. I like to live a good life. I like to have fun. I love to travel. So love talking about that. If we can learn about new places, that would be wonderful. But if you have stuck around this long, we're almost at the 9-minute mark. Wasn't intended on even talking this long, so that's kind of cool. But I appreciate it. Hope that we can make this something fun and special and just a good place for you all to come. And yeah, so thank you for sticking around this long, and let's get this ball rolling.